Hello and welcome back to my channel. Please, if you've not subscribed, please endeavor to like and subscribe and share to as many people as possible, your friends and family, so that YouTube will be able to show it to more people and help them out too. Thank you. So in this particular video, we'll be talking about the practices you've been involved in, you've been indulging yourself in, that have been harming your laptop and leading it to its early grave. These practices, some of them are known to you, some of them are unknown to you. So I've decided to demystify and review these practices and enable you to stop them. And if you've already been involved in it, I'll show you how to fix some of the errors without meeting anybody else to help you fix them. So let's continue. So the first one, dust, dirt in speakers, vents, etc. Now, this is a very common issue where you have dust and dirt in your speakers, food particles, dust, and several other stuff in your speakers and vents. Now, this problem is it's a very much harmful problem. You know, desktops are much bigger than laptops, and some people have come to the belief that because laptops have smaller vents, they shouldn't be collecting the dust and dirt, which is quite wrong. Laptops have a higher tendency of collecting more dust than desktops. The reason is this: you move around with your laptop most times. You travel to a different country, a different location, you go to your office with it, you visit your friends and family, you go to restaurants and hotels and stuff with your laptop, and you work with them there. So mixing up with environments, you are surely going to collect dirt and dust, especially dust. And in the next slide, I will tell you the dangers of the dust and dirt in your speakers. The food particles there, they can really do a number on your laptop. Now, regarding the dust and dirt in speakers and vents, a friend of mine during COVID-19, during the lockdown in 2020, he recently got a laptop, and he came to me. I helped him install Pro Evolution Soccer on the laptop. The laptop was working fine, playing the game very smoothly, till 3 to 6 months later, the laptop started misbehaving, sort of. If he's connected to the mains, the game will be playing smoothly. Once the power goes off and he's to play with his battery, the system becomes like 3 times, 4 times slower, making the game unplayable. So he came to me, I looked at it. I thought it was a Windows issue. Maybe he contacted 1 or 2 malware on his laptop, and that was why it wasn't working. I decided to format the Windows and reinstall another Windows. Updated all the graphic drivers and stuff. Unfortunately, the system was still the same. It's improved. That immediately I was done with it, the game was playing smoothly. He went home, the game was still slow. So I kept on making my research to find out what exactly was slowing down the system, till one particular day he came back to me, and his hard drive, his 1 terabyte inside his system, was misbehaving. I had to disassemble the laptop to get out the 1 terabyte and know what was actually wrong with it, because it wasn't displaying anymore in the system. So on disassembling the system, you wouldn't believe what I saw. I saw a good quantity of dust that can probably help someone set up a foundation for a mansion or a duplex. Yeah, it was that horrible, very bad. So on seeing that, I was surprised. The vents looked so clean on the outside, but inside it was already messed up, and I had to clean out, use some practices to clean out the dust as much as I could. After some minutes, I was done. I think up to 30 minutes because of the quantity of dust inside. So I was done with it and took out the hard drive, which was the initial thing that got me to disassemble the laptop. As I got out the hard drive, closed it up, gave him back the system. The game started playing smoothly, no issue. I didn't really know it was a matter of dust and the dirts in the speaker and vents, especially the vents, till I started brainstorming to find out what could have made the game work. And then I remembered I just cleaned out the vents, and the overheating, like the system would get much more hot. It would get hotter when you are playing games on it then compared to after cleaning out the dust. That was when I noticed that dust was really an issue, and not just an issue, a big issue on laptops. So here's looking at this picture I have here. This is a disassembled laptop with dust in the fan or vents depending on who. Now, how to fix it? You get an air canister and use it to blow out this dust. The foam here meant to keep the dust away is already contaminated with the dust, so you have to remove something like this. If you have it on your own laptop, dust it out, maybe rinse it in water, spirit or whatever, and make sure the dust has been successfully cleaned out. You blow out the dust here. But if for any reason you don't have an air canister and you don't know how to disassemble your laptop, you can use a straw and gently blow into the vents and it will clean out the dust. Why we recommend using a straw is to avoid your saliva getting into the vents. This can cause a much more bigger problem than what you currently have. So you blow, the saliva gets to stick on some parts of the straw, and then the air goes into the vents and helps you clean it out. Some people recommend using a hair dryer to blow out the dust. This in itself is not bad. You can do that if you know how to. You have to reduce the temperature on the blower so that you don't end up frying one or two circuits in your laptop's motherboard. So the third practice you can do is to mind your environment. Here we move around with our laptops because it's very portable and stuff. So the environment where you work, you have to ensure there's no much dust there, and if where you are working on or working at there's a bit of dust there, you can try to change location if possible. If you can't, you have to engage in the practice of constantly blowing out the dust from your system every once in a while. Now, the second problem, disregarding overheating problems. Okay, from this picture, you've seen the guy crying, the system just smoked out and stuff like that. Now, there's something in your laptop called your GPU and your CPU. This is how they look like. There's a paste on it, a thermal paste, a cooling paste, CPU paste. It depends on the name being called. You can call it any of these three names: a CPU paste, a cooling paste, a thermal paste. Any of the three works. This paste helps to cool down the temperature of your laptop. It helps to regulate the heat. When you apply it here and keep your heatsink on top of the CPU, it helps to take the heat from the CPU here to your vents, because they are really connected together. So it takes the heat from this side to the other end of the heat sink, and then the fan in your laptop blows out the heat already accumulated in the heat sink, and then that's how you get hot airs on the vents of your laptop, the fan of your laptop, something like that. Now this stuff, if not applied, your system can starts overheating because the paste meant to keep it cool has dried up. Like this one now, it's already dried up. That's why you are seeing it like that. It's dried up already. That's why it's like this. So to fix it, you have to reapply. So how to fix this? You do the steps in the previous slide. You blow out the dust in your fans and vents, and your speakers. You now get to step 2, where you have to disassemble your PC and get the thermal paste and apply it on your CPU, like this picture now, where the person is already applying it on the CPU. If you don't know how to do this, you can meet a professional engineer to help you disassemble the laptop and reapply if your system is just shutting down incessantly and you are finding it a bit frustrating. Now, another problem that can cause overheating is your fan not working. Not just the dust and dirt. Sometimes it can be cleaned out and the fan itself already has an issue. If it has an issue like that, it won't be working, and since it won't be working, you definitely run into overheating problems. Even after applying your cooling paste, it will still overheat and shut down while you are still using it, which is very bad. So you can try to change it if after applying this nothing works out. Now the third thing, mind your environment. You've already talked about this. Know where you work at and how to keep your laptop safe from these things. Now the third one is a faulty storage drive, especially HDDs. SSD, there are HDDs and there are SSDs. HDDs are hard disk drives, and then SSDs are solid state drives. HDDs are much older than SSDs, and SSDs are much faster than HDDs. HDDs are cheaper, SSDs are costlier. Now, I've seen a situation whereby a laptop can become malfunctioning because of a faulty storage drive, especially if the laptop is using an HDD. There was this project, a student doing his final year project. He had an HDD in his laptop, and he would turn on the laptop, and the laptop would tell him that the HDD is already weak and he should replace it. But this guy somehow didn't feel like he should replace the HDD, so he left it like that, and unfortunately the HDD ended up dying and crashing, so he lost all his files. If you are using an HDD and you are getting something like that, or the system is taking too much time to open up one or two software, boot, and so many other things, you might want to change your HDD. One of my clients then last year was having this issue. The laptop was taking too much time to open Microsoft Word. As little as Microsoft Word was, she was having an issue with it. So I looked at it, and at first I misjudged. I thought it was Windows issue, until I later found out it was the HDD that was already bad. So I had to help her get a new one, install it, then install the Windows, and everything became perfect once more. So how to fix for faulty storage drives? One of the issues that lead to bad storage is your laptop battery. Okay, here's what I mean. Some people use their laptop with a faulty battery, like when your battery has gotten to that stage where it can no longer hold a charge. When you plug it in, the system your laptop doesn't detect it, and case whereby the battery is already bad, and if you plug it in, it will say plugged in, not charging, or the battery is not being detected at all. When you are in such a situation whereby immediately power goes off, your laptop goes off as well, meaning the battery doesn't hold charge anymore. When you've gotten to that point in your laptop's battery life, you have to change that battery, because HDDs have spinning disks. They are called hard disk drives for a reason, because they have a disk. This is the disk. I didn't get a more complete picture. So this is the disk. It's rounded in shape, and then this is the header. The disk is called a plater. This is the header, this is the plater. Now what happens here is this: when you turn on your laptop and the disk starts reading, this header, when it's done with its work, it usually stays here. When the hard disk is no longer in action, it stays here, and you work. That's when the work stops. When the work starts, the header moves from here to here and stays on the disk, the plater. And then as the disk is rotating, the header is reading off information stored on this disk. This is where the information, your files, your music, and everything are being stored on your hard drive. This is the exact place you store those information. So as the disk is rotating, the header is reading the information on the plates and then giving feedback to your screen and telling you, okay, this is your music, this is your videos, your movies and stuff. Now they rotate, the disk rotates at a fast speed, not very fast, but at a fast speed, and then information is being read off the disk as it is rotating. Now if you have a faulty battery, or you are plugged in directly to the mains without a battery, as the header is trying to read off the information on your plater, and the battery goes off immediately without a warning sign, this this header won't be able to go into its state of rest, because it's still trying to read off information from the plate, because it was still in action. Now when the battery goes off, this guy is still trying to read off information, and then this guy, the plates, have to abruptly come to a stop. Without gently coming to a stop, it will have to force itself to come to a stop, because your power was terminated from it without any prior sign. Unlike when you are done with working on your laptop and you want to sleep it, want to shut down, want to hibernate, when you want to do stuff like that, the system will definitely, the header, the plates will gently stop rotating, and the header on your plate will have to go into the docking station to stay there and make sure that nothing is being read off the plate. But when you interrupt it abruptly, it leads to scratching of the discs, because since the disk is trying to rotate as fast as it can and come to an end as fast as it can too, it will give the header issue, and the collision might cause some scratches on the disk while trying to come to an end as fast as it can. This is a very bad issue, and it causes some damages to your hard drive, and with time you start noticing that accessing a folder or some folders or some files in certain locations on your HDD becomes a bit difficult. When you click it, you have to wait for some minutes or more before you can access whatever file is there, which is very bad. when you get to that point, your HDD is already getting faulty. That's the sad thing about it. So, how to you have to be very careful. If your battery is already bad, please, I know it can be a little bit expensive depending on your location. Please try to change your laptop's battery so that you don't end up damaging your HDD or your SSD as well. SSDs don't have disks in them. They store information magnetically, which is an advantage and which is what makes it much faster than HDDs. But if you are still using an HDD, please endeavor to replace your battery if it has gotten to that point where it can no longer store a charge. Then the number two is this: replace your weak HDD with an SSD or a new HDD. Replacing your HDD with an SSD can be quite costlier, where in some locations, in some countries, some stores, online or offline, the price of something like a 256 gig SSD is almost the price of a 500 gig HDD. So when people look at the capacity and the price, they usually feel like going for HDD. I don't blame anyone for that. Everybody's pocket is not the same, and going for HDD is not bad. Going for SSD is not bad. If you can afford an SSD, please go for it. If you can't, please stick to a newer HDD and replace it with an already faulty HDD you have. Once you start hearing weird sound in your HDD, like it's making some sound when you are trying to access a file or two, please know that the HDD is already faulty. That comes from the header. This trying to read off information from the plate, and the plate on its own has had one or two scratches or more on it, making the header finding it difficult to read past the parts of the plates that are faulty. When you are having issue reading off information from the plates, it means the sector where the information is stored on the HDD is already bad, and the best option is to take it, replace the drive. And if you can manage to copy the files from your faulty HDD to your new SSD or your new HDD, please do copy out your files and continue. Now, fluids. This is a very, very, very bad stuff. Fluids are any form of liquid that can harm your laptop. Your sweat, your soft drinks like your Coca-Cola, Pepsi, etc. Your water, any brand of water, and several other stuff. Rain, yeah, rain. If rain beats you with your laptop, it's a very bad thing. You need to find a way as fast as you can to do something about it. So one of the first things to do, how to fix this, is avoid fluids of any form near your laptop. If your soft drink, your water, your sweat enters your keyboard or your vents or makes contact with your laptop's charger or any part of your laptop, it will definitely give it an issue, especially if the fluid finds its way into the into the motherboard of your laptop. It will definitely try to fry one or two circuits in your board, and that's very bad. There was this coursemate of mine. He had a contact. He accidentally kept his laptop on top of his table where he was working on, and unfortunately, unknown to him, the laptop was sitting directly on water. Water spilled from one of his his uh I think the water defrosted or something and spilled onto the table, and he kept his laptop there for 30 minutes to an hour, and the laptop ended up soaking a good amount of the water. And by the time he realized, already it was partially late. So I told him to meet someone since I wasn't around, and the person would help him fix it. This guy never did. He thought it was something that would wait, and before could fix it, it was already bad. The laptop had already eaten deep into the motherboard, and that was how he lost his laptop. So please be careful when having fluids around you. I know we want to work with our soft drink by our side, with our water by our side, and stuff like that. Please avoid it. Avoid any form of fluid. Just avoid it as much as you can. You can keep the water or the soft drink or whatever a little far from your laptop, and then stretch your hand, take it and take it back, something like that. Now the second part is this. The second fix: if you have any contact with fluid of any form, rain, your sweat, your soft drink, your water of any form, please and please separate from power source. If you are using if your laptop has a removable battery, you can immediately pull out the battery from the laptop, because the more the battery is there, the more it is sending current to the motherboard. And since the fluid has already gotten its way into your motherboard, and with the battery still inside the laptop, it will fry one or two circuits on the motherboard. So for a situation whereby, I know you are asking, what if my laptop is currently using a sealed battery where the battery is inside the laptop? Yeah, currently my own laptop is like that too. If you can, just disassemble the laptop and disconnect the power connector, the battery connector from your laptop, and take out the battery. If you don't know how to do this, please meet a certified engineer, a technical assistant, to help you disassemble the laptop and remove the battery, and then they'll help you work on it. And if you can fix it, if you can disassemble the laptop and remove the battery, you get a spirit, use it to clean out the motherboard. Don't get something harmful. Not all. Don't use a chemical. Use a spirit. There are many kinds of spirits out there. You can get a trusted one, and I think maybe at home a methylated spirit, and use it to dry out the the fluid on your laptop. Now, careless handling. This is a very bad one. It's very bad. Okay, before we continue on that, the fluids can also lead to power failure, because the liquid is on your motherboard already. That's why I recommended pulling out the power source, your battery, your charger from the system, so that the fluid that got its way into the laptop won't start causing one or two circuits to malfunction. Now, in terms of careless handling, this is a very bad something. From the picture, you are seeing a hand holding the laptop from the screen area. If you apply too much pressure here or here, if the pressure is too much on any of the parts of this screen, it will definitely give an injury to the screen. You start seeing a black spot here or somewhere around here, depending on where you are holding it. If it's here, it will appear somewhere around here, and once it starts happening, you start having serious issue. You have to replace your screen. And on some occasions, when you are holding it here, the hinges, if it's not a strong hinges or it's already getting faulty, the hinges will definitely break out. Few days ago, a friend of mine, still a coursemate of mine in the university, he wanted to lift his laptop. I think he's one of the reasons I'm doing this part. I never wanted to add this, but after seeing it happen over and over again, I had to include this. He wanted to lift the laptop, so he took it from this top here, and on lifting it up, the hinges from here and here broke off from the laptop. So okay, he was just lucky though. It was only this part that broke out, so this part was pulled up and this part was still on the end of the laptop. So currently the laptop is still with me. As I'm recording this video now, the laptop is still in my room. I'm already working on the hinges. Turns out after fixing this one was already becoming bad as well because of that pull. I think he has been doing it for quite a while, and then during that on that day's pull, everything had to give up and give way to the damage, the potential damage that has been waiting to occur since. So how to fix this? Please carry your laptop from its base. You are meant to hold your laptop from here and from this other side. Don't hold it from any of these areas because you are applying unnecessary pressure to your screen and to your hinges as well. If you end up damaging this, you have to pay to have it fixed, except if you know how to fix it yourself. But why stress yourself and fix something you can easily avoid? Then the screen of some laptops are scarce, some are very costly when you see it. So please avoid all these unnecessary expenses. Then the second one, this one happened to a friend of mine. He left his USB charger on top of the base of his laptop. He left it somewhere around here, and on closing the laptop, he applied force. Yeah, that was what happened. He used force to slam the lid of the laptop close. So on applying the force, the lead went from here to here, and on contact with the USB damaged the screen. So he had to change the screen and had to learn his lesson from that day. So please, before you close the lid of your laptop, please check for anything you might have left on the keyboard or any part of the laptop. Remove it, and then please gently close your laptop. You won't die if you gently close the laptop. Just do it and save yourself unnecessary stress. Now the third one, mind how you place your laptop in your backpack. If you carelessly place your laptop, you definitely end up with a bad screen. And if you have fluid in your laptop as well, in your backpack as well, if you are unfortunate enough, the fluid will spill from whatever is containing it and spill into maybe the motherboard of your laptop, the keyboard, or your screen, and do some damage to it. Somebody had a cooking oil. He was going back to school and had a cooking oil in the same partition with his laptop, and during the course of his traveling, I don't know how the oil spilled and entered the laptop, and the rest is history. The laptop never came back to life. It was a palm oil, so it did a number on the motherboard, and the screen was nothing to write home about. So please, and don't make sure you don't keep heavy stuff near the laptop while in the backpack. If not, they can end up damaging your screen or something else. Now this is another issue you should try as much as you can to avoid. It's a very bad issue too. Charging your gadgets with your laptop. I know we do have one or two power issues, and maybe the power bank is not available. You have to send a message quickly to a family of friends and loved ones, to your spouse, and let them know about your whereabouts, about what you intend doing, or catching on some more fun before your phone dies out. In as much as it's okay, it's not okay. Um, the charging your gadgets with your laptop is very bad. Here's why. Using your computer cable to charge your mobile phone can harm the cell on your phone, the battery on your phone, and you wouldn't want a situation whereby you've been charging it over time, and now you have to replace the battery on your phone to get a more standard battery, because you've ended up killing your battery. Now from this picture you are seeing 5 lithiums here. That's what you have, and then after charging with your laptop you are now having 3. And if you've noticed, when you charge your phone with your laptop, it tends to drain faster than when you charge it with normal current. I don't know if you've noticed it before, but it's very common. If you charge it to 100%, it doesn't really stay 100%. It tends to drain faster than when you charge with a normal power supply, a hydro power supply, and it's bad. So when you are charging from your laptop, you are harming the battery on your laptop, because your laptop is not really meant to charge your phone. And your phone, because the voltage it is collecting, the voltage your laptop is using to charge it is much lower than the voltage provided from your phone's actual charger. It really harms the cell in your phone. So you are harming 2 batteries at the same time, except for if you are using modern laptops where they kind of improved it to enable it charge other devices. If you are using something like that, you don't really have much to bother about, although you still be bothered about harming your phone, but you won't be bothered about harming the battery of your laptop. But if you're not using those kinds of laptops, you are harming the battery in your laptop and the battery in your phone. Now, how to fix it? Get a power bank instead. There are several power banks out there. You can check on Amazon, you can check on depending on your location, you can check whatever online or offline store and get one. 2, this is an error. Replace your laptop's battery if it's already weak. And the 3rd one, please don't allow others to use their laptop to charge their phones. Notify them of this. You can also share this video to them and keep them safe as well. I'll make a separate video on why you should not charge your phone with your laptop. This topic is very in-depth, so I'll try as much as I can to make the video and keep the link to the video under this particular video. I haven't made it yet, so once I do it, I'll notify you. You can subscribe and please click on the bell icon on my channel, so that once I release it, you'll be among the first few people to see it and get notified about it. You can also subscribe to my Telegram channel, so that once I upload that video, you'll be able to go out and check it and know how to keep yourself, your laptop, and your phone safe. This is another practice you might be involved in, or know someone involved in it. Exposed cable parts. A rat or one of these stupid rodents must have eaten your charger, and you confirmed that the charger is still working, and you still use your charger to charge your laptop, or maybe your USB cable to transfer files from your phone to your laptop, it's not bad, but you are taking the taking a very serious risk. It's a very serious risk, and this exposed parts might breach together, and maybe the positive and the negative within it can come together and cause one or two sparks, which might immediately shut down your system and fry something within your motherboard. And you wouldn't want a situation whereby you are trying to spare a few dollars by not replacing this charger or the USB cable, and you end up spending up to $100 or more trying to fix your motherboard that has been fried, or you are spending $500 to $1,000 or more to replace the laptop entirely if the problem is something that cannot be fixed. So how to fix it? Tie all loose ends. By this I mean, if you don't have the funds to change this, to replace your charger, please get a tape and use it to tie up this loose end, these exposed parts. Tape it so well, separate the positive and the negative if they are already naked and exposed. Use the tape to separate them from each other to avoid contact. Use the tape to tie them separately, and then use the tape to tie them together after separating and tying, and then bind it together and make sure it doesn't come in contact with each other. Then for your USB cable, you can still do the same thing. But if you have the funds, please and please replace the affected cable. Maybe your charger, you just have to replace it. If you have the funds, your USB cable, those ones are not too costly. You can still replace it. Then to go the extra mile, you have to make sure your working place is void of rodents, your office space is void of rodents, and if there are lots of rodents there, you can try to use all those rodent killers to kill them and keep them at bay. And you can use all these plastics and stuff to run your chargers and stuff through it, so that when they come for such stupid attacks, they'll end up eating up the plastic and not your cables. Now, installing unverified software. We all want to download one or two software from the internet, and somehow we end up downloading a malware, and the malware can just start doing a lot of damage to our laptop. Maybe convert your files to what's it called? There are some that will convert your file, no matter the size, to 392 kilobytes. I've seen the ones that can do your files from 10 gig to 821 kilobytes. Then there's shortcut virus that will start turning everything in your laptop to shortcuts. Please always make sure you have a working antivirus and an updated one, and use it to keep these things at bay. Maybe your Windows Defender, your Kaspersky, your Avast, whatever. Make sure you are keeping these things at bay, and know the website you are downloading from. Make sure it's verified and they don't have any track record of infecting people's laptop before you download. Now, how to fix it? Be mindful of where you download from. Don't download anyhow and from anywhere. Then update your Windows Defender or any antivirus software you use. The third one, not all USB drives are harmless. Some hard disks or SSDs, external hard drives, SSDs, flash drives, and storage devices have already contacted one or two malware from your friend, from someone in your office, and stuff like that, and then you connect it to your personal laptop. And if your Windows Defender or your antivirus software is not updated, you will definitely be infected. And when that happens, if you are not careful enough, you lose files. And some hackers intentionally keep these files on websites. They latch it onto important software you want to download. So when you download it usually comes in to your laptop, and they can use those uh, malware they attached to the software you downloaded and use it to control your laptop. Some of them do demand for ransom. So to avoid being asked for ransom, please make sure your most important files and your sensitive files, your pictures, your videos are not easily on your laptop. You have a backup of it on an external drive, flash drive, or to the cloud, so that if someone is demanding for ransom for something in your laptop and you already have a backup of it, you can easily take it to an engineer, a certified engineer, and have them wipe the OS inside it, your operating system, be it your Windows or your Linux or whatever you are using, and or even your MacBook, and you are safe. And just do it. Make sure you have them separate so that you won't be your files won't be used against you. And some of them will always demand for one or two ransoms, especially if they have something incriminating against you. They will always threaten you with blackmail. So if you have such sensitive information, please do not store it on your laptop. Or if you have two laptops, make sure one is for your sensitive information, which you wouldn't be downloading software with, and then the other one that you'll be downloading stuff from the internet. Yeah, you have to verify the authenticity of what you just downloaded on the other laptop before transferring it to your sensitive one. Now, overlooking warning signs. In some situations, you turn on your laptop and you see something like thermal shutdown occurred. We talked about dust, dirt in speakers and vents. We also talked about disregarding overheating problems. Now, this problem here is actually an overheating problem. The system BIOS has detected that your notebook PC was put into hibernation shutdown to avoid overheating. If you have to read the messages carefully to know exactly what they are talking about. Now, from this message, you already know that thermal shutdown is because of overheating. So to fix this, you have to make sure the dust in your fans, your vents and speakers are cleaned out. Your thermal paste has been applied. Your vent, your fan is replaced. If it is faulty, you have to replace whatever needs to be replaced. Your fan, thermal paste or cooling paste, you have to blow out dust and everything. Don't just see warning sign and ignore, like that final year student did when he was ignoring a warning sign that his hard drive was already weak and would need to be replaced. He ignored that sign and he ended up losing all the files in that hard drive. So please replace whatever needs to be replaced. Read the messages carefully. Always back up your files. If you've been getting storage warning, please back up the files in that HDD or SSD and try as much as you can to get a replacement. Now, cleaning with the wrong guy. This is when you are trying to clean out the dirt and dust in your fans and speakers, and you are using a harmful chemical. It will either change the color of your keyboard and turn it to gray. I was once a victim of that. I did it on a client's laptop. I was supposed to clean it out. I used the wrong chemical, and it ended up turning the black keyboard to partially white, and it was very bad. Luckily for me, I was pardoned because of my ignorance. So I don't want you to be such a victim. So please use the right chemicals. You can the right agent, the right cleaning agent. There's this one that's stored in cans. It's usually green. In some of them are green, some are red. You can find when you pour it out, it's foamy and very mild. It's like foam. You can like it's foamy in its appearance. You can easily use it to clean out dirty surfaces, clean out um, parts of your laptop without having to harm the plastic on your laptop or your keyboard and other stuff, even your laptop screen. So please use the right cleaning agent. I can't recommend any now, but if I'm able to find one on Amazon, I'll definitely put the link in the description below and you can use it. Now, there are limitations. By limitations, here's we all want to play that game, we all want to run that software and several other stuff. Yes, we've seen some nice games and we want to play it, but there are limitations. Your laptop will not be, if not powerful enough, will not be able to handle all software, all apps or games. So you have to always check at least the minimum system requirement for the games and apps. It's quite unfair trying to play a 4 GB dedicated game on a 1 GB dedicated laptop or a laptop without any dedicated graphics. You are trying to put a strain on your CPU and GPU dependent. So you have to be sure of what you are trying to do. Like for animations, people using Blender, Movizu, and some heavy software for animations. If you are using it on some kind of laptops, you only end up frying your CPU, and at the end of the day you'll be left without a laptop, or you have to spend to get the laptop fixed. So check for the minimum requirements for the game or app you want to run on your laptop, and if it's not up to the minimum requirements, please don't go for it. Then if what the app or game you've already installed is slowing down your system, just know that it is not compatible with your laptop. Please uninstall it for the safety of your laptop and for your own mental health. Uninstall it, and when you are able to get the funds for something better, you can easily upgrade. Nobody will die if you didn't play that game now. You can play it later, and you won't be assassinated for it. That's just it. Then don't try to overclock when you don't understand it so well. Well, you've been hearing about overclocking laptops. Overclocking works easily on desktops, and you don't want overclocking is simply trying to go beyond the maximum of your laptop. I did a video on the link will be in the description. I did a video on how to know your processor's maximum speed, your turbo speed. Now let's say your base speed is 1.3 gigahertz and your turbo speed is around 3 gigahertz, and you want to overclock. Overclock simply means trying to go beyond that 3 gigahertz to something like 3.2, 3.4, 3.5 and above. If you are trying to do something like this, if you are trying to overclock on a desktop, it's much more easier than on laptops. On desktops, virtually everything is upgradable, replaceable, and stuff like that. Unlike laptops, where most of them are soldered onto the motherboard, and you have to be very, very good at what you do to be able to bypass those limitations. So, if you know how to overclock, please go ahead, overclock your laptop, and make sure you put every necessary thing in place while doing so. If you don't know how to do so, please don't even attempt it, except if you are ready to bear the risk. Or if you have someone that can guide you, you can still go ahead and do it. So this is the end of the video. If you found it helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more helpful videos like this one. I have a Telegram channel if you want to be notified whenever I release a video, as well as from the bell notification icon as well. You can join the Telegram channel. The link is also in the description. I wish you all the best. Avoid the ones you can avoid, and minimize whatever you can minimize, and enjoy your laptop.